baby, 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 baby. I got the feeling, baby.
If the concert had not occurred, we would have had the biggest problem in the history of Boston since the Tea Party.
1968 was 1968, and all that entails. It entails bloodshed and violence and the country shaken to its core.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
It's going to be trouble in paradise tonight. I said, man, it's going to be some problems in it because Dr. King just got killed.
There is a countrywide reaction, probably sets a record for domestic disturbance.
Americans are burning down all their great cities.
The situation was that Boston would burn. Why not? Every other city in America was having terrible turmoil. Why should Boston be spared? Who could possibly spare Boston?
Boston, too, is being protected by a force of several thousand guardsmen mobilized after a day of racial confrontations.
You can imagine how frightening things were in light of all these other cities spilling over with righteous indignation and rage. Boston is sitting right on the edge of the abyss. And here comes James Joe Brown, Jr.
Boston was next on in line for a little riot.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute.
If that had gotten nasty, it would have gone up like a torch. It would have been a bloodbath.
This is no way. We are black. We are black. Don't make us all look bad.
If there ever was a night he had to read the crowd right and use the magnetism of James Brown, that was the night. It was like all of his life, he was prepared for that night when the world needed him to connect in Boston.
Stop and be gone. Good God.
To say indeed is a great pleasure to present to you at this particular time a young man who needs no introduction. Introducing Mr. Dynamite, the amazing Mr. Please Please himself, the king of soul, recently has been crowned as one of the hardest working entertainers in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting James Brown.
Ow! I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't die. Feel good. I knew that I wouldn't die. So good, so good. I got you.
Here's a guy who grew up fatherless, motherless. At a time there was no welfare. He is the most ultimately self-made man in American history, is James Brown.
So nice, so nice. I got you.
When he was small, he broke both legs playing football, so his name was Cripps, for cripple. And he had casts on one leg and still scored a touchdown. Grit, will, determination. I just barely gonna play football with a cast and still score a touchdown. That's James Brown. That's James Brown.
James Brown was raised by two aunts in a brothel in Augusta, Georgia. He dropped out of school in the 7th grade, and at age 16, went to jail for stealing a car.
I had 8 to 16 years. 8 to 16 years, that's a long time. I served 3 years, and I was going into my 4th year, and I decided that I better straighten myself up.
Got to hire people's home. And it's stepping me. Got to hire people down. And it's stepping me. Right. They know you're out of sight.
Where other artists were black, Nat King Cole, Sam Cooke, even the Motown acts, were able to cross over as blacks into mainstream. James Brown made mainstream crossover to black. He made us acceptable as we were, which was a big deal.
Oh, boy, he had a sexy stance. And I think that's why all the women was just screaming. And me too.
I always liked James Brown's dancing, and I always liked his showmanship.
I would ask him, why do these people love your music? What is it about your music that really gets them? He said, feel your pulse. And I did. He said, you feel the beat? I said, yes. He said, I stay in the beat. I stay in the pulse. So if I want to get a message to people, or if I want people to dance or people to feel good, I stay in the pulse.
They want to throw white children and colored children into the melting pot of integration, out of which will come a conglomerated, mulatto, mongrel class of people.
We will continue the protest in the same spirit of love and nonviolence and passive resistance.
Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream, and in 1965, landmark civil rights legislation was signed. But for some, it was too little, too late.
Gutted shells of buildings, flames raging out of control, and an atmosphere of apprehension still hover over the quieting Watts section of Los Angeles.
With America's inner cities erupting regularly, prominent black figures found it difficult to remain on the sidelines. James Brown, who was finally enjoying crossover success, entered the fray cautiously.
Mr. Brown said he looked at religion and he looked at politics, and that just didn't work, so the only way to get people was through music.
This is a man. Where? We're on the move now. Yes, sir. Yes, we're on the move, and no wave of racism can stop us. Yes, sir.
America produced a Dr. King, but it also produced a James Brown. They might have been flip sides to the same record, but they were the same effect, and they, in many ways, articulated what a whole nation needed to hear. One said it raw, the other said it polished, but the whole country, and later the world, got the message.
But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman.
James Brown represented that aspect of the civil rights movement, of self-determination, of this affirmation that you are in control of your destiny and potential of your future.
When we go across the city line tomorrow, we have a new song that we're going to sing. We have overcome.
Dr. Martin Luther King had the nerve, the guts, the drive, the determination, and the wisdom to start something and see it through.
James Brown was in no way a pacifist. He disagreed with Martin when he got a chance to talk with him. He said, you're a great man. I think you've done magnificent things, but I am not a follower of nonviolence. If somebody hits me, I gotta hit him back.
This is a man. Not a woman. May mean going to jail, but I'm going if it means that. It may even mean physical death, but if it means that I will die standing up for the freedom of my people.
We talked about his relationship with Dr. King. I think that he respected Dr. King for being sincere. And he used to always say to me, you can't disregard the fact that this is a man who put his life on the line, whether I agree with all of his tactics or not, because James Brown was not into nonviolence. And he would say that. He said, but I believe in a man that believes in what he's saying.
Let us save our national honor, stop the bombing, and stop the war.